Then my makeup artist calls me and tells me, they've replaced you. And I'm like, what did I do? So even something that is a passion of yours, you can make that a reinvention of yours, a parallel career. If you're embarking on a journey of fitness, don't start by going to the gym. Anyway, the film, when it did release, didn't do well. I don't wish bad for anyone.
And so 3 mantras of fitness rules that you follow, and you like to, give out a practical maneuver to our audience for this.
But tell me that technique. You're saying
Yes, please. I'm sure. Welcome to Personality Talks podcast, where we decode success, not just what the world sees, but what builds it from within. Today's guest is someone you have seen as an actress, a fitness icon, a TV trailblazer, and an entrepreneur. From first capturing hearts in India's iconic 90s TV serial to break norms by hosting men's cricket World Cups on international television, and to build her own fashion brand, she's faced the spotlight and the shadows. And every time life said, "Are you done?" she answered, "Not yet." Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mandira Bedi. Have you gone through any professional setbacks?
Yeah, our business is quite heartless. I mean, setbacks in the sense there was a South Indian film I was asked to be a part of. I went to Goa and I shot it. I played a police officer. And the way they wooed me, the producers, to get me on board. Oh my God, we wrote the film for you. We wrote the film keeping you in mind. And it's a very integral part. And can't see anyone else playing it. I've shot for 10 days with them. And then they contact me about a month later saying, we need these days. I said, these days, sorry, I'm not free because I've got something else going on. And then I didn't hear from them. And then my makeup artist calls me and tells me, they've replaced you. And I'm like, what did I do? I delivered. I was shooting. That footage, some of it I have on my phone, and I look at it and I was like, it was amazing. I looked the part. I looked the part of a cop. I mean, if there's anything I look the part of, it's a cop. But they just replaced me without even telling me. And it upset me deeply. And they didn't even message. They didn't even call. They just shot with someone else. And there are things like this that can happen. And they were just thinking that, it was a South Indian film. She lives in Bombay. We can just let it slide. They didn't even have the manners to tell me.
That's not good.
Yeah. This lady called Charmi and Puri Jagannath. They're big filmmakers, actually. Anyway, the film, when it did release, it didn't do well. I don't wish bad for anyone.
Please.
But, it would have slipped me my, knowledge when it released, what happened, whatever. I kind of followed to see. Maybe a year later, I checked, did this film release? And it released and it bombed very badly. And I was like, they should have got me.
Absolutely. They should have got Mandira Bedi in that role for it to be a hit. Absolutely sad. Because that's what it is. I can also feel your presence, your enigmatic enthusiasm. That's something which
I did some fight scenes where I, shot somebody in the head and did some it was a part tailor-made for me. It was really good. I enjoyed shooting whatever I did. And I just felt I felt distraught that, okay, if dates didn't work out, they can at least tell me it's not working out. Because of dates. You can't just replace and shoot with somebody else. How is that okay? And this work ethic, I mean, they're big filmmakers. How is this all right? Shouldn't you? Okay, fine. You don't want to work with me. Okay? Dates are going to be a problem because I'm busy with other stuff. Fine. Have the decency, have the manners, have the decency. There's no other word for it. I can't use any fancier word. Decency, to just be civil and just say it's not working out because of dates.
But this is what majority of the people do, in fact, personally and professionally, that they do not know how to say no. They fear that the other person will be disappointed. And probably in that mannerism, they don't want to come up and say no.
Have the guts to just say it didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Okay, I'd be sad about it. Fine.
But at least they were responsible
But
enough.
this way is worse, isn't this?
Yeah.
Isn't this way worse? The feelings I have for these people are not positive. I like to have positive feelings for everyone, but they're not positive because they handed me a very raw deal. It didn't work out. It didn't work out at all like this. Had they had the courage to just say it's not working out, I would feel sad about it, but I wouldn't have a negative feeling like I do about them.
So it was not responsibly handled.
Not at all. Not at all.
The no was not responsibly handled,
No,
is what
no.
it is. All right.
No, and it was just because dates were not matching. They asked me for some last minute dates, which I didn't have. My dates for events and things go like I've got dates in end September that are gone. If somebody comes to me and says, end September, I need these dates, I've committed to something in end September. So I can't do it. So what do you want me to do? Like, back out of something I've already committed to? I can't. That's the rule I have, So if something comes along and I've committed to it and something better comes along on the same days, I'll have to say sorry to this person who came on because I've given my word somewhere. So I stick to that. That's one of the rules I have as far as my professional, career is concerned, that if I've committed to something, even if something better comes along, I will not back out of something. If my manager does an amazing job of getting me to be able to do both, great. But if the date is sacrosanct, then I stick to the first thing.
Big question coming your way. Are you an emotional person?
Very, very.
And also with that, are you an emotionally intelligent person?
I'm an emotional person, and sometimes, like we all do, we get carried away with emotion. And then I'm driven by emotion. I did a course in parenting, which I wonderful course. And what I learned about parenting at that point, it applies to adults as well. When you are emotional and when you are driven by emotion, when something happens that stirs up emotions, your normal logical brain stops working.
Out.
Yeah. That happens with kids. That happens with us. So if something happens that stirs up something in you, be it anger, be it sadness, never make any decisions at that time because they're driven by zero logical thinking.
EQ, in fact, in our personality training, we tell this to everybody that your IQ, your SQ, your PQ, that's your physical quotient, it's all dependent on your EQ. So if you are not emotionally intelligent, you're going to go through some strifes and struggles in life.
That's why it's so important to keep your mental health in check. Because, the way you feel generally and the way you're feeling about life, it colors everything you do. So that's how you'll wake up and go for a run in the morning because you're feeling strong and positive. That's how you approach your day. That's how you make your decisions. If you're good over here.
And here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mentally, emotionally.
Most people think building a personality means wearing an expensive watch and carrying branded outfits. This is not true. Personality is how you impress, influence, and impact others with your unique identity. No matter how expensive the price tag you wear, if you don't know how to think, feel, and behave in the right way, you are going to lose a lot of opportunities in your career and life. Hi, I'm Sanjeev Datta, the founder of Sanjeev Datta Personality School and personality mentor behind 9 international titles, including Miss World 2017 Manushi Chilla and Miss Universe 2021 Hana Sandhu, along with thousands of corporate leaders. In the last 23 years, I have helped many people, including top executives, transform their personalities and become the most influential leaders in the industry using my unique proprietary method. It's time for you to be a star performer in your company by becoming an impactful presenter, effective communicator, influencing public speaker, and impressive negotiator and close more deals. This is not just a workshop, but a way for you to become the spotlight. Wherever you go and whosoever you meet, be a part of my one-person leaders workshop and earn a certificate from Sanjeev Datta Personality School. Register now, and I look forward to seeing you in the workshop. So, three fitness mantras for our audience. That because fitness is a very important, physicality is a very important part of your personality.
Yes.
And so, three mantras of fitness rules that you follow, and you like to, give out a practical maneuver to our audience for this.
Yes. One is, I would say that start, if you're embarking on a journey of fitness, don't start by going to the gym. Because what happens is very easy to fall off the wagon. So if you say you've done no exercise before and you're not into exercise, but you say, you know what, I want to now take my health into my own hands. I want to get fit. I want to be healthy. I want to do some form of activity. I suggest the first thing to start with is walking. Why? People diss walking. It's great for your cardiovascular health. But the best part is that you don't need a special outfit for it. You just need a pair of, good shoes to walk in. And you don't need you don't need to put aside that much time that you would need for a gym. You go to the gym. It's like firstly going to the gym, then, you get ready, then you spend about an hour and plus there, then it's a whole project. But the thing about walking is that the moment you finish tying your shoelaces and away you go, your workout has started. So I say start with something like walking, and as and when you feel that with walking, and you get results. So your clothes fit you better, and you're feeling lighter, and you're feeling more active. Then you can move to something else. Okay. So first thing is start with something that you can sustain. So if walking is it for you, great. If running is it for you, great. Whatever it is, something that doesn't require you to do too many things or take up too much of your time. Do you know when I don't have, like in the rains right now in Bombay, I like to run. I hate running on a treadmill. So what I do is I run in a figure of 8 in my living room. So I get my steps in, I get that running in. Or, if there's the will, you'll find places to do, the kind of exercise you want to do anywhere. You can go up and down the steps of your building. So there are times when I have the energy, I live in a standalone small little house, and I go up and down the steps. So where there's a will, there's a way, and start with something that is sustainable, that you can do without a problem. All right. Second thing I would say is, don't give yourself very big goals.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very important to say, like when I was pregnant, I had 22 kilos to lose. Had I said 22 kilos to lose, that's my goal, and I think about 22 kilos all the time, I would not have gotten. It's very overwhelming. It's very intimidating. I would have fallen off the wagon before I even gotten onto it. So I used to tell myself, I want to lose 2 kilos. 2 kilos are my goal. If it takes me 1 week or 10 days or 2 weeks, at the end of 2 weeks, I say, well done. 2 kilos down. Now I'm going to look at the next 2 kilos. And that's how I lost all my weight. The 22 kilos I had to lose. So when you are embarking on a journey of health and fitness and weight loss, perhaps, don't look at the bigger picture there. Just give yourself smaller goals, and those smaller goals are more achievable. And when you achieve them, give yourself another goal. When we see a staircase in front of us that looks tall and intimidating, you don't look at the staircase, you just look at the step in front of you. So that's the second thing. Don't give yourself, very, very unmanageable goals, because those are very hard to stick with. And the third thing, how much ever we like to say it's only about exercise, it's not only about exercise. It's 70% exercise, 30%, or maybe 80-20.
Yeah, 80%.
70% nutrition, 20% exercise. 80% nutrition, 20% food. Sorry, 70% exercise.
80% exercise, 20%.
Okay, I'm going to start this again.
80% nutrition.
70% nutrition, 30% exercise, 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. That is the equation. And if you really train very, very hard, if you're really, into activity and exercise, you can change that equation to 70-30 or 60-40. But the bulk of it is food. There's, for toning and for, keeping it going and keeping that weight loss happening. It's less the exercise, more the food. So you can't go to the gym and work out an hour and a half and then say, you know what, let me go and have a tub of ice cream. It does not work that way. Okay. Abs are not made with only crunches. They're made with healthy lunches. So you have to be cognizant of the fact that exercise is very, very important. It's good for your, cardiovascular health. It's good for your, cognitive health as well. It's very important for you. But if you're on a weight loss journey, if you're on a health journey, it's got to be a right mix of nutrition and exercise. And nutrition is the bulk of it. 70-80% is nutrition and 20-30% is exercise. So that is a very important tip to remember, because you can't think that you've gone to the gym and then just eat anything and think that things are going to work out.
I started with this with just walking, spot walking. I used to give myself a reason I don't have time. For spot jogging, you don't even have to get dressed for it.
No.
And you just have to wear your shoes.
Correct. Just wear your shoes and do it. You can do it in front of a TV. You can do it with phone calls. You can do it anywhere.
Watching the television.
Exactly. It's just, it's something that you can do, doesn't require, the thing with gyms is, I love going to the gym, but I also think it's I don't often have the time for the whole thing. All told, it'd be 1.5 to 2 hours, because to get to the gym, to look presentable, there are other people around you, that if you're working out with a trainer or you're working out yourself, you're waiting for machines. It's a 2 hours gone. But I do very efficient exercise. I do 40 minutes of weight training every morning, and I run for 20 to 30 minutes in my living room. When I don't have time. If I have time and I have time to go to the gym, I can make a 1.5 hour thing out of it. But I'm very efficient. I take very few breaks, and I keep my workout time full of workout. And nobody comes and talks to me when they meet me at the gym or when I'm working out. It's like my kids walk in, I said, this is the time I'm saying my prayers. I say my prayers when I exercise. I'm saying my prayers. Please, just when I'm exercising, don't talk to me. After that, I'm all yours.
So it helps you lose the excessive weight on your body, and also de-stresses you to lose the weight in your head as well.
Absolutely. And I think the first line of defense against any mental health issues is exercise. First line of defense. Yeah, like I said, if if something bothers you for a period of time and you can't let go of it, that's when you go and meet somebody who can help you. But for me, the first line of defense, when something is bugging me, there's something gnawing at me, something that I'm not able to get my head around, I go for a run. Or I finish a workout. At the end of the workout, it doesn't hold that weight that after the weights I've held, it doesn't hold the weight that was, that it was holding in my mind.
Amazing. All right. So what advice would you give to someone who feels stuck in one version of themselves and longs to reinvent their career? Because you have gone through from one hill to another peak, conquering another hill thereafter.
Well, I would just say that, reinvention is something that is, I think, now a necessity. Because in today's day and age, everything is moving so fast. If you don't move with our times, you are going to get left behind, and then you'll be stagnant. So the point is, awareness is very important. Awareness is very important professionally. Awareness is very important spiritually as well. So if you see things are changing around you, you have to also say reinvention is just adapting to the changing times. So even with your work, something more is required of you. You need to be more tech savvy. You need to be more able to handle, this, that, and the other, which you were not handling earlier. So you have to learn, you have to move with the times, and that's how reinvention happens. And if there's something that's a passion of yours, if you give time and energy and intent to it, you can make something that is a passion of yours into your career. Like even with physical fitness. Fitness was just something that was I said, I want to exercise. I exercise. I do some form of exercise every day, some form of activity. Okay. So I just made that, and I made that a non-negotiable in my life. And then on Instagram, I started putting out a few videos of my workouts because I like to do it and because I enjoyed doing it. And then next thing I knew is there were brands who were coming to me, health-related brands and fitness-related brands. And now I go flag off marathons, I'm doing cyclothons, I'm doing all sorts of different things connected to health and fitness because I put a lot of intent and energy into it. So even something that is a passion of yours, you can make that a reinvention of yours, a parallel career, something that you can make something of if you put intent and energy into it. So if there's a passion of yours that really drives you, you give time, energy, and love to it, and it can become something that can be an all. You see so many people who switch careers. They are, they're doing something and then they decide they're engineers by profession, and they decide that, what, music is my passion, and they give up their day jobs and become musicians. And there's a friend of mine I met recently who was in school with me, and she says, I was a graphic designer, and after a certain point, it's art at the end of it, but tech, art with tech. And she says, it was just not driving me. And, her mother was an artist, a very celebrated artist. And she said, I never wanted to be an artist because I'll always be compared to my mother. And then I said, you know what? I want to do something that makes me happy. And she started painting and putting literally paintbrush to canvas, which she'd never done because she always had this thing that my mother is such a great artist and I can't become one. And that was her love. And she's just switched careers from being a graphic designer and a corporate job and everything like that. She's moved to art because it was her passion and because that's what drove her and that's what excited her. And she's selling her canvases at a great price, and she's made an alternative. She's reinvented herself and made an alternate career for herself. So you can, and here's the thing, it's never too late. You can do it anytime.
So, in fact, that reminds me about the quote that you propagate, and that is that today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Yes. Imagine that.
Please elaborate.
I told my son that he was not looking forward to the academics of ninth grade. And he says, "Oh, Mom, I'm looking forward to school starting, but I'm not looking forward to the studies and the chemistry and physics and all of that. I'm not feeling positive." And I said, let the old narratives die. Forget about the old stories. How about you say every morning when you wake up, today is the first day of the rest of my life. So I'm going to make today really good. And, that's like that spiritual thing of living in the moment. I am going to make this moment good. I'm going to make this hour good. I'm going to make today the best today that it can be. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. You had this thought about every today that came up. I'm going to do the best possible thing I can do today, or I can start again, I can begin again, I can do something new, I can be the best version of myself today. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. It's never too late to try anything new. It's never too late to embark on a new journey. It's never too late to, to get onto a fitness journey. It's never too late to change your career. It's never too late to say, I'm going to be the best parent ever. It's never too late to say, I'm going to be the best version of myself. It's never too late.
And today is the day when you do something that your future self thanks you for.
Correct. Every morning I wake up and I work out and say, something, the times when I'm lifting my weights on the 9th or the 10th or the 15th rep, which is with a heavy weight, I'm saying, I'm not enjoying this very moment, but I'm doing this because my future self is going to thank me. There are many things I do for my future self to thank me. Every morning I wake up and I do a small little crossword and I do something, some mental exercises. So this is for my future self. My future self will thank me. I meditate for 10 minutes every day. My current self thanks me and my future self thanks me. So there are many things I do for my future self. And it's never too late. People say, oh, I don't know how to meditate. It's never too late to start. I'll tell you how you start. Just sit down, close your eyes. For the first time, maybe put an alarm for 5 minutes. Just close your eyes and just watch your thoughts go by. Some of them will consume you, and then you can tell yourself, you know what? This is just a thought. This is not my entire being.
Yes, please.
And that's it.
But usually people believe their thoughts to be true.
You're adding a lot of weight and value to that thought. It's just a thought. The thought might not be true. The thought is your perspective. And the thought, is not you. We become our thoughts. That's the problem. We become our thoughts. We get consumed by them. And then we can't think of anything but that thought.
You build
It takes us over.
You build your perception, and that becomes your reality.
Yes. So the best way to describe it, and very often, I also, when I'm meditating, lots of thoughts pass by and suddenly I'm caught up in that thought and I'm just like, I've gone into a spiral, and I say, you know what? As best described by some meditation app or somebody who, your mind is like the blue sky, and all the thoughts are those white little clouds that are passing by. You can observe them while they pass by, or you can get into those clouds and then not see anything else.
Can I show you a technique from our theatrical action method?
Yes, please.
And you'll be quite delighted, and I'm sure, because you are an inspirer and a motivator to a lot of people. You have a great big voice out there, and a lot of people follow you. In fact, one of our students, or the many, they proposed that, I've been running marathons now, and I've been inspired by Mandira Bedi.
Oh,
and
nice.
And that was something which sort of told me that I need to be able to talk to you so that, we can feature you on our podcast, Personality Talk, so that you can inspire so many others out there. And this is something which should go on and on.
But tell me that technique. You're saying...
Yes, please. I'm sure. So now the face expression, it controls everything, and especially your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you get into this happy face expression,
Yes.
for that, you just have this delightful eyes, happy eyes, we call them, eyebrows slightly going up to open up your face expression, bring on the smile.
Yes.
And now you'll see that within 2 seconds, you start to breathe quite calmly with open eyes. You don't have to close your eyes now.
Right.
And now when you're starting to breathe so calmly and relaxingly, now think of, I challenge you, Mandira, to be honest, to think of any negative thoughts with this face expression and this comfortable, happy eyes. You'll not be able to think of a serious or a negative thought.
I'm smiling from inside and out. Yes.
Yes. So this is a very big technique which we give to our students in our theatrical action method, that you bring this on, you can control your thoughts now.
That's lovely.
And trust you, when you try it as many times, you will not be able to.
But you have to smile. It's not just about smiling from the mouth. You have to smile from the eyes as well. The eyes have to be happy, because if you don't actually feel it in your eyes, then you're not feeling it.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So this is also we give as smile rejuvenation meditation for people. I don't have time. So we tell them 20 seconds.
I'm only thinking happy.
You don't have to. You
don't
can't
have
think
to
otherwise.
close your eyes.
Yeah, you don't have to close your eyes. You're stuck in traffic.
Yes.
You're comfortable.
Yes.
And nowadays with the tragedy happening for our airlines and one of the airlines, so you sit in a plane.
Yes.
You're feeling calm now.
Yes, that's right.
So this is a very good technique which we provide, and a lot of people, they exercise this technique, and I'm sure you will be able to.
I will think of you every time I have put on that smile and the happy eyes. I will. That's a wonderful tool. Thank you for sharing that.
My pleasure. Moving ahead. How difficult is achieving success? This is for people to understand that achieving success is not as that hard as you perceive it to be. And also there's a lot which goes on to it, but from your side of the story, how difficult is it?
Well, I'll just give you one perspective. I would just say that there's a lot more to be learned from failure than there is from success. So what happens is that when you succeed, yes, you can continue to do more of what you've done to get you here, but you'll have to reinvent to keep it going, to grow, etc., come out of your comfort zone. That's one part of it. But I think there's much more to be learned from failure. And so when you fail and you fall down and you pick yourself up and you restart and you work harder and you learn from your mistakes. There's much more to be learned from failure when you're on that path to success than from success itself.
Absolutely.
Right? So, as I've gone along in my life, the learning really comes from when things went wrong. The obstacle is the path. When things go wrong, when things go awry, when things are not the way you want them to be, how you deal with it, how you respond to it, how you pick yourself up from it, how you start walking again, how you get to where you want to get to. It's the journey from failure to success is a journey with much more learning. It's a journey with much more valuable stuff, right? So I would that's the one thing I would say, that every time I failed or every time things haven't gone my way, and however I felt at that particular point of time, it doesn't feel good. What I've done with it after, how I've moved on after, how I've picked myself up after, how I've gotten to where I want to get to after falling down. That's the real sort of learning, and there's much more to be learned from that.
So failures and falls will happen if you're striving
Failures
for
and
growth.
falls are a part of your journey.
All you need to do is have the personality to be able to stand tall after every fall.
Yes. Stand tall after every fall. That's right.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
So Mandira, if you have to be able to define or maybe chalk out 5 of your strengths in terms of your personality strengths, what would be those 5? And also one strength or ability, personality ability, that you would like to develop for the present and the future.
Okay. 5 strengths over the years. One is, which came over time, is self-belief. I didn't have it to begin with. I've developed it over time. If you don't believe in yourself, then story over. So self-belief comes first. Whenever you're embarking on anything, you have to know you're going to do it. You're not going to embark on it if you don't believe in yourself, how is anybody else going to believe in you? So that's one. And whenever and wherever there have been opportunities that have come my way, I've said yes because I've believed somewhere that I can do it. Right? The second thing, I think, let's say with my fitness journey, would be consistency. To go day in and day out, do what you have to do. And what's most important is, in today's day of social media, I work out every day, but do I post anything? No. I'm doing it day in and day out, even when no one's watching, because it's become a part of who I am. So consistency is very important, and it's very important when when it's something connected to your career, something connected to your health, to do the hard yards and to do what needs to be done day in and day out, regardless of who's watching. Third thing would be, I've talked about it, resilience, hanging in there, staying on course. I don't make any excuses ever as far as my fitness is concerned, as far as health is concerned, to ever. I do sometimes stray when it comes to food, but I do not miss a workout any day. So hang in there. It's easier to give up. It's easier to fall off the wagon. It's harder to stay on course. It's harder to be resilient. That is definitely much harder. But if you want to get somewhere or be someone, you talk about success, when you want to be somewhere and achieve something, you have to be consistent and you have to stay on course. You've got to be resilient. The fourth thing would be, I think, positivity. That, if that colors your world, if positivity is, then you only see the good in others. Then you only see the good in whatever it is you do. Even if you're standing on a tire talking about, tires to an audience who you'll never meet again. So being positive, I think that really counts for a lot, because you wake up with positivity, you take your day on with positivity. I also believe that positivity attracts positivity. So if you have a positive state of mind and you're a positive person, then I guess, that's what comes your way as well. A superpower I have, actually. It's called gratitude.
Wow.
Yes. I live by gratitude, and that's what keeps me going. The last thing I say before I go to sleep is I take nothing for granted. Thank you, God. The first thing I wake up before I open my eyes, I say is thank you for the roof over my head, the food on my table, my children's health, my parents' health, my able body. So when you take nothing for granted, then you value everything around you. So I think the power of gratitude is also a strength of mine. In fact, not just a strength, it's a superpower, because gratitude is what makes me positive. Having a feeling of gratitude at all times makes me feel positive, because whenever and wherever there's gratitude, whenever you're in a state of gratitude or feeling grateful, you can't feel negative at the same time. So those are the 5 things. Those are my 5 strengths, I'd like to say. And the thing I need to work on is there are sometimes I allow myself to have a narrative which I don't let go of. So I want to be able to let go. And so that, of course, affects your positivity, right? Because when you hold on to something and say, this didn't go well, or this person wronged me, or this person did this, and I don't let go of it, don't let go of it, don't let go of it. The only person it's causing harm to is me. So I'm working on letting go. I'm working on letting go of things that don't serve.
Anger is the punishment you give yourself for others' mistakes.
Correct. Yes. So somebody's done something, has wronged you. There's no, question of that. But by holding on to it, that person has moved on. By you holding on to it, it's not serving you. You can't move forward. So that's something I hold on to it a tad longer than I need to. I'm much better than I used to be, but I want to be better than this.
So that's your emotionality, basically.
Correct. Yes.
You feel deeply is what
yes.
it is.
Yes.
Wonderful. So why do you feel personality and personal development is very important to create growth in your life, professional life, personal life?
Because personality is what is the first thing that people see. Personality is that first impression. Personality is also that second and third and fourth impression, because that's consistency and that's being authentic and being the person that you are. But personality is it's not, for a person to like you, it's not about looks. You could be the most beautiful person, but if you don't have personality, you will get nowhere in life. So I think personality is the first thing. It's like the first thing anybody sees about you, the personality you have. You could be, somebody who's very average looking can look beautiful in your eyes if they have a beautiful personality. So I think personality is a game changer. You work on being the best version of yourself, being strong, positive, grateful. That's a wonderful personality you're building there. And if that's the first impression that people get of you, they're going to instantly like you. And then you get your first chance and your second chance and your third chance after that, right? If you have a very negative personality and, a very, not a good disposition as your first impression, you won't get that first chance and second chance and third chance. So I think building a positive and a strong and a good personality that's your calling card. That's your visiting card. It's not how you look. It's how you are. It's how you behave. It's how you conduct yourself. It's how you value and respect people. That's all a part of your personality. And I think that's it's that first impression, and that's your calling card. I can't describe it any other way.
It's also about how you make others feel.
Yes. If you value their time, you respect them, it's how you make others feel. It's that first impression. It's that first impression that will give you a first, second, third, fourth chance at,
So again, I'll to repeat this line and this quote,
Mhm.
that beauty catches the eye, but it's the personality that captures the heart.
That's right. So I don't know about catching the eye. It's about, for me, it's all about the capture. The capture. Something that catches your eye is fleeting. Something that captures you is there to stay.
So we'll give you three choices. We're getting into the rapid fire now.
Yes.
And I'll ask you a few questions in terms of abilities, the personality abilities.
Okay.
And all you have to do is speak about from the choices we give you, or you have your own perspective.
Okay.
All right.
I'm allowed to choose
Yes.
more than one.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's your personality,
Yes.
which we are trying to decode here
Okay.
for others to be able to understand
Got it.
you better and also emulate your strengths into them for them
Fair.
to become super successful
Fair.
as you have become. And in fact, with that said, I would definitely say this, that according to me, I've done a lot of work in this industry, 23 years of pioneering this. And according to me, I think you're the top 1% personality of India. So thank you for being that.
That's
as
so
well.
kind of you, Sanjeev. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
please. So the first question is in the rapid fire is, what do you rely on more in decision making? Pure gut instinct or logical analysis? Or the third is your own perspective?
Well, I would have to say it's a combination of both. You can't just always go with gut. There are some times where you're really, at a crossroads and you don't know where to go, and your gut is telling you something. You need to follow it, and sometimes your gut speaks really loudly. So then you follow your gut. But mostly, I'm the person who thinks of pros, cons, logic. But there are times when your gut holds you by the gut and says, you know what, this is the way to go. Then you have to follow your gut. But mostly I go by logic, by logical thinking and weighing the pros and cons and seeing what's going to work out. I take a little time over a decision.
Okay. In a crisis, which role do you step into first? The leader or the problem solver?
Problem solver. I don't allocate. I don't, start allocating things to be done. I'd rather do them myself. So I'll go get my hands dirty and my feet dirty and get into the problem and sort things out myself rather than allocate. There are a lot of people who are very good at allocating. I'm not one of those. I'd rather do it myself the way I want it done than give it to somebody and maybe not get the result I want. So here very clearly I'd say I'm the problem solver, and I'm the one who will get into the heart of it till it's sorted.
Wonderful. What motivates you more? Growing beyond my own limits or inspiring others through my journey?
What motivates me is trying to be the best version of myself. That's what motivates me. That's what keeps me going. That's what I want to be. There are times I feel I'm not the best version of myself, and I can reflect on that and try and do better the next time. If people get inspired along the way, it's great. I feel very happy when I hear stories of people who've been motivated to exercise and motivated to, start running like your student. It's nice if that happens along the way, but my focus is to try and be the best version of myself in all the aspects of my life. And I fall short very often, but I'm aware of when I'm falling short. I'm aware of what I can do better.
But my request is, ma'am, please maneuver yourself to inspire others as well.
Oh.
So many people need your inspiration.
Thank you.
Question number 4. What strength defines you more today? Empathy or resilience? I know the answer.
It's resilience. I would want to be more empathetic. I am. It's not like I'm not an empathetic person, but it is resilience, because I think sometimes you just have to do the hard yards, and of course you've got to be sensitive and loving and kind and empathetic along the way.
Wonderful. What's one trigger you've learned to master? Criticism or rejection?
Well, with criticism, very often I find it's not a reflection of me as much as it is a projection of somebody else. And if a person has to say something that is unkind or unwarranted, it's less about me and more about them. So I've been able to maneuver myself around it, not take it so personally. Uh, rejection, like I told you the story of rejection, where with the role that was offered to me, I got rejected. I took it quite badly, but I've learned to give myself a little time to process and then say, it's not going to bother me again. And I can put it to rest. So I found a way to maneuver that as well. So if something's happened, I've been rejected, it's not worked out, whatever. I don't say I'm going to snap out of it. I take my time to deal with it, to feel it, to go through it, and then move on.
One value you live by: discipline, courage.
I live by gratitude. Discipline, courage are all a part of who I am, but first I live by gratitude. Gratitude is my first and foremost. It is I've got a tattoo that says thank you. That's my handwriting. I went to the tattoo parlor and I said, you know what? I was first looking for gratitude in different languages. And I said, why? Thank you is what I say all the time. I say to God, I say to people around me, I say to the universe. So I wrote on a piece of paper, thank you, in many, many, many different ways, my handwriting, and I chose the one I liked and they stenciled it on me. And so gratitude is the value I live by. Gratitude is the feeling I live by. Gratitude is the power I live by. Gratitude is what I live by.
And that's what makes you happy as well.
Yes.
So that's wonderful. And in fact, I'd like to go to the extent to say this, that you are the true CEO of life. And the CEO stands here for confident, enterprising organizer.
Ooh.
I mean, you got everything to become super successful and also inspire others is what the celebrity's job is, to help people on the right path, to motivate them when they're down. And this only the top 1% personality of India can do. So thank you so much for participating with us and helping us and inspiring a lot of our audience.
Amazing, Sanjeev, the work that you're doing. You inspire so many people. You teach so many people. You train so many people. And like we talked about, personality being the calling card, personality being the first impression, personality being what captures, people's, what captures people, what captures their imagination, what captures them. Teaching people to develop their personalities and be the best versions of themselves. It's such wonderful work, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.
As you are an inspiration and a motivation to millions out there, thank you for being the top 1% personality of India, and thank you for doing all that what you do.
Such lovely words. Thank you.
And this just doesn't come from me. It comes from my more than 1 lakh students, which we have trained in adults, and more than 1 lakh younger ones, the school students, which we have trained. So all in all, we give this to you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. I'm honored to receive this. Thank you so much for giving me that, honor, and for such lovely words. So kind. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
To anyone watching this, if you're in a tough phase, if you're rebuilding, or just trying to hold it all together, I hope this episode reminds you you're not alone. You're not done. Thank you, Mandira. It's been a pleasure having this lovely conversation with you. And thank you all.